exception handling in Java. Let's learn. The exception handling in Java is one of the powerful mechanisms to handle the runtime errors so that normal flow of the application can be maintained. What is exception? Exception is an abnormal condition. In Java, an exception is an event that disrupts the normal flow of the program. What is exception handling? Exception handling is a mechanism to handle runtime errors such as class not found exception, IO exception, SQL exception, remote exception, etc. Now, let's learn the advantages of exception handling. The core advantage of exception handling is to maintain the normal flow of the application. An exception normally disrupts the normal flow of the application. That is why we use exception handling. Let's take a scenario. Suppose there are 10 statements in your program, and there occurs an exception at statement 5. The rest of the code will not be executed, that is, statement 6 to 10 will not be executed. If we perform exception handling, the rest of the statement will be executed. That is why we use exception handling in Java. Hierarchy of Java exception classes. Throwable is the root class of the Java exception, inherited by two subclasses, exception and error. The exception class is further divided into 4 subclasses: IO exception, SQL exception, class not found exception, runtime exception. The runtime exception is inherited by arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, number format exception, index out of bounds exception, and index out of bounds exception is inherited by array index out of bounds exception, string index out of bounds exception, and finally the subclasses of error are Stack Overflow error, virtual machine error, out of memory error. Let's see what are the types of Java exceptions. There are mainly 2 types of Java exceptions: checked exception and unchecked exception. According to Oracle, there are 3 types of Java exceptions: checked exception, unchecked exception, error. Difference between checked and unchecked exceptions. Checked exceptions. The classes which directly inherit throwable class except runtime exception and error are known as checked exceptions. Example: IO exception, SQL exception, etc. Checked exceptions are checked at compiled time. Unchecked exceptions. The classes which inherit runtime exception are known as unchecked exceptions. Example: arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, array index out of bounds exception, etc. Unchecked exceptions are not checked at compiled time, but they are checked at runtime. Java exception keywords. There are 5 keywords which are used in handling exceptions in Java. Number 1, try. The try keyword is used to specify a block where we should place exception code. The try block must be followed by either catch or finally. It means we can't use try block alone. Number 2, catch. The catch block is used to handle the exception. It must be preceded by try block, which means we can't use catch block alone. It can be followed by finally block later. Number 3, finally. The finally block is used to execute the important code of the program. It is executed whether an exception is handled or not. Number 4, throw. The throw keyword is used to throw an exception. Number 5, throws. The throws keyword is used to declare exceptions. It doesn't throw an exception. It specifies that there may occur an exception in the method. It is always used with method signature. In the next video we'll learn about try-catch block. and much more. Thank you for watching.